Good day, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Tracy Brown here. And I didn't know how important or exacting this video topic would be today, given how I'm feeling. So, we all have our good and bad days, and I am just coming off the worst. I don't think it's a migraine, but it's like just a brutal headache starting like this time yesterday. And so I'm feeling good enough to do the video, so I'm really grateful about that. But you can probably tell this side of my head's a little droopy because that's where the headache's been. So anyway, all the more reason to be talking about this topic because the reason I'm able to go a little slower pace today and do some things to take care of myself is because of my practice. And I feel really blessed and fortunate to have it, to be in it, to have worked so hard to build it in a way that gives me some wiggle room to still do some stuff, but take it easier on the days I feel terrible, basically. And so I want to share with you the reason I wanted to do this video topic yesterday, because I was thinking, I've been talking to a few more dietitians and coaches lately about, we love this work, we love people, and that's why we're doing it. But most of us don't have the training to, in all the areas we need to have a private practice. We just don't. If you started off as a dietitian, then you're probably a really good technician around food, and you know how food works. But you don't really know how to run a private practice or have a lot of marketing skills, or even have a eating disorder experience. Because even if you've had an eating disorder, it doesn't mean you know how to coach or counsel in one. So that's why it's really important when you want to do this kind of work, private practice, non-diet kind of work, is that you have a little bit of a vision. Now, you don't have to know like how many people you want to work with or what your income goal is for this whole year, but it is really important. And thank you everybody who's watching live. I hope that you start from the beginning after I finish up here. I've just only been on like a minute or two. But I want you all to really, really, I can't emphasize enough, really, take some time in your phone or just a notebook and piece of paper. Start to write down like what you want your practice to look like and what you envision it doing for you in terms of like not just helping people. Like when we finished up non-diet counseling skills training, like the group training last week, and it was fabulous and wonderful, and I'm always on like a post course teaching lull, honestly, too. I have a little bit of a blah after I do those 12-week courses because they're so much fun. I learn so much, and obviously, I provide a ton of content and actual like practice, like role-playing practice in it as well. And what I'm noticing is that like every single person just loves people, and they're doing this course because they want to bring the best of themselves and the best skills and strategies and knowing how to be embodied themselves to their clients. So clients can get better faster because it's really hard to see people suffering and feeling stuck. And so that's maybe why you do this, which is beautiful and wonderful. And so I know one of my goals always from the beginning, I've been in this 13 years, is, I wanted to have the best skills possible to, I can't help everybody. I certainly can't save anybody, but to know that like I could bring the best of myself and what's available out there to people, that's one of my goals in my practice. It wasn't just like number of clients per week goals or money goals, but that stuff is important. So I want you to be thinking about, so take your piece of paper and I want you to be thinking about, what is important to you in your practice. And so maybe you don't have a private practice yet. You're working for a clinical job or eating disorder facility, and that's great if that's what you're here for, and you're here in this group just to learn more counseling skills. Everything you do that I teach around even business stuff will benefit your clinical or the job you have, because you're an ambassador for your company being willing to push things with providing non-diet care wherever it is you work. So it's really helpful, to know how to market that kind of stuff with your colleagues and the front desk secretary and the people who maybe do marketing out in your community, like knowing what kind of people work for that entity makes it easier for to keep people coming in and to build this great reputation. So maybe you're not the owner, but you do a lot to bring trust. So anyway, don't undermine, anything you can learn here around those skills if you're not directly using them are important too. So, okay, back off that rabbit trail. So what I want to say more is, you are allowed to have things change. So maybe at the beginning you want a certain amount of, let's say, 10, 15 clients, ultimately that's what you want. Okay, great. And to keep your skills going and have the money to do that. Awesome. So, then if you know those goals, you want to work yourself backwards. Well, how do I make that happen? And what are my skills? I didn't know that I would love doing video so much. I just started doing it and just got better at it, essentially. But some of you are great writers, but you might have that little mindset thing of like, well, it's not good enough. I have to do it all the time. No, that's not true. You just need to do it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And so I just want to remind you that like where you're at now in your private practice, with the amount of clients you have, with the money goals you have, that's all going to change, and that's okay. But it's really the most important thing to be thinking about what you need this practice to do for you, So again, I'll just share my goals. My goals are, I've got several that I do all this for. And it's to provide the most trauma integrated, safe, effective non-diet nutrition counseling to as many people as I can in the world. So even if people never work with me physically, that my videos are helpful, my blog posts are helpful, that they are nuanced. And I know that means that not everybody's going to read them because I go into deeper topics, which is fine, but my stuff is for people who really want to dig deep. And so that's who I'm always focused on. I want to provide that for those people who are really sensitive, really wanting to do whatever it takes to get where they want to go. And so that is what all my nutrition discussions look like, my body image discussions look like. My other part of my practice is I want to provide the best trauma integrated nutrition counseling skills to you all. That's really, really important. So that's why I spend so much time, research, more money than my husband would like me to get all kinds of training and, and to share that with you in the bits that you can metabolize and then go work with in your own client sessions. And so that's why I'm always doing these videos, that's why I'm always kind of revamping my courses. That way it continues to be updated and you guys get what you need from like inquiry call all the way to hopefully when you're graduating your clients, and to know how to refer them to the right people and to work really cohesively with the right therapist for these people. That's what my motivation is too. And all of this needs this practice, and like how long my sessions are and what I charge and all those kind of things needs to support that level of, like pushing and expertise. So that helps me decide like my pricing, that helps me decide on how much supervision I need. And, in terms of the family goals, I need to be able to have time off in my day to, hold on one second.
Mom, just this once, can I take Chuck out today?
Yeah.
Like for like a little poo-poo break.
Yeah, you can't really go. I'll be done.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that. That's how live videos go. I had a little interruption there. So where you'll be seeing my practice go, you guys get to see these things live. I share a lot of I'm always sharing my syllabuses and sharing like what I'm getting ready to change. So when you saw the little infographic for this video, I talked about you're allowed to change things. And so coming this year, I'm going to be doing a lot more group things because I want to get as many people involved as possible along with the courses I'm running. And because next year I'm going to be having a big family change, probably a move, in terms of how much one-on-one time I can offer people, but I want to be able to offer as deep of skill building to people in group as much as possible. So you'll see more of that change where we can get more of us together in community as well. And so that's being precipitated by how I think that we can all learn best from each other, as well as the changes that are happening within my family and the move coming up in the next year or so. And so anyway, you might find that like right now, I'm sharing all this because right now you might find like, man, I'm just getting so much of like, I love my one-on-one practice. I'm not doing anything different than that. I never thought I would either. But as time's gone by, I'm doing more groups just because it feels like it really nourishes me and people are getting a lot from it. And so, and it's good to have some variety and to have some fun. So I, for the first 9 years of my private practice, just kept a full like one-on-one schedule, and I was super content and happy with that. And as you find, as your skills change, your life changes, what you see that people need out there in the world and offering it in the way that they want it, you'll start to see that like, oh, there's more we can do, maybe more that you want to do. And so don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of like changing things up, even though maybe things are kind of good the way they are. Sometimes we have to do that, or if something's really not working, don't be afraid to say like, this is just not working. I'm not happy. I don't like the way this is going, even though on paper people would be happy with this. Don't be afraid of any of that. So I hope this isn't a rambling video. I just want to remind you all, if you're not happy with how you do your sessions, change them up. If you don't want to offer certain kinds of sessions anymore, don't do it. Do something that's more in alignment with your skill set and your interests now. For example, I really don't see anybody except for people who have diet trauma and disordered eating. Even if, I can help people with some gut health stuff. I see a few people like that, and I combine it with some of the non-diet stuff. But if it's just a call for a gut health issue, I refer to somebody who's really, really good at that. And so again, that's why I'm always encouraging you all to show up in this group and share with us, like, what are you really good at? What do you love doing? Do you love writing? Do you like working with gut health? I need to know these things so I can send people your way to make you happy, to help me feel happy, and we're all helping each other out. So anyway, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to do things differently than you always do. Really be willing to take some risk to get the kind of practice and ultimately the life that you'd like to build, okay, with your skills as well as your business or even whom you work for. I mean, I worked for other people's practices for many, many, many years, and was very content and happy doing that. And then when I wasn't, it was time to change things, and move on. And that's the way it should work. Let's stop hanging on to the old way of doing something because you always have or you're afraid. Tell me, I would love to hear below, like, what are you yearning for in your practice? How this supports you, how this non-diet world could support you better. What are you afraid of changing and you'd love to? I mean, let's have a really fun discussion, and I'll share more personally about my stuff too, about what's coming up for me, what I'm changing, and let's do all this together and have some fun doing it. So thank you all so much for watching live. Those that you did who watched the replay, let me know it's a replay, and let's see where we can take some risks together. I'm up for it. How about you? So talk to y'all real soon.